Good morning, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now, coming to you from our digital desk. We're going to be taking you live to the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. It's going to be a busy morning. We expect a couple of high-profile cases that you may have heard about. First of all, of course, the mass shooting that happened on West 6th Street in downtown Cleveland. We're expecting the shooter, the accused shooter, 25-year-old Jalen Jennings, to be making his second appearance in court, this time to be officially indicted. We will see if he is up first here. This will be by video arraignment from the jail. We possibly could see the second individual that is charged in that shooting, Kevin Del Val Salomon, 24 years old. He's accused of being the getaway driver, and the car that the gun came from allegedly used by Jalen Jennings to shoot those 9 individuals on West 6th. This happened back on July 9th. Also back on July 9th was that incident at the Cuyahoga County, or the Enterprise Rent-A-Car out at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, where Darshawn Burks, she was a fired employee for stealing a vehicle, taking a vehicle from the rental car lot without permission. And then once she was fired, came back to the rental car agency and tried to do as much damage and destruction, and she succeeded very well in doing so, using multiple vehicles to smash into buildings. At one point, she took a vehicle and smashed into the garage area where they work on cars, managed to get one car stacked on top of another, and then is accused of even trying to light the gas pumps on fire that were there at the rental car agency. I'm going to take a listen in here. This is more than likely the judge giving instructions, constitutional instructions to people on what their rights are. And then these are kind of a mass arraignment, mass indictment kind of situation. They generally go very quickly, but we'll take a listen in.
If you have been charged with a crime of violence and or any drug offense, under Ohio law, you cannot knowingly.
So again, this is the judge just giving some initial instructions because, as I said, this is generally a mass type arraignment. There could be 10, 15, 20, 30 people sitting in the audience there waiting to have their first appearance. More than likely, all of them will plead not guilty. The reason we're curious to see Jalen Jennings, again, he's the accused West 6th shooter, is that because after his first appearance, when they set his bond at $9 million, he had a lot of things to say. He had to be told by not only the judge, but by his court-appointed attorney to be quiet and to shut his mouth several times because anything you say in court can be incriminating. He was very upset at his $9 million bond and wanted the judge to know about it. That was and is an extremely high bond. It is entirely possible that his attorney today will ask for a more reasonable bond. It'll be up to the judge on whether or not to set a bond hearing, so we will wait on that. But as we've all know by now, if you were in the Cleveland area, you've heard about the mass shooting. I'm going to show you some body cam video while we wait for this to get underway. You're going to hear the amount of shots that were ripped off there on West 6th back on July 9th. Take a listen to the body cam. And we are now back in court, and there is Jalen Jennings. Looks like he's just been woken up for his appearance. Let's take you live into court.
We'll start with the jail case number 682899, co-defendant A, Jalen Jennings.
Thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Chuck is up with the Public Defender's Office. I will acknowledge the indictment, waive any reading, advisement, and notice, and enter a not guilty plea, ask that he receive assigned counsel and reasonable bond.
The not guilty plea will be entered. The bond was previously set at $9 million, cash surety property, no contact with the victim, with court supervised released, GPS standard. I will advise that he does have a warrant out of Lorraine County. Any other comment on bond?
You're maintaining the state request $9 million bond?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so that will be continued. Assigned counsel, I will assign Fernando Mack to represent you, Mr. Jennings. You're going to be on the docket of Judge Jennifer O'Donnell. Your next court date is August 7th at 9 a.m. Thank you.
We're just waiting here to see if we get any kind of response out of Jalen Jennings.
That's it. Oh, he has a new one? Oh. Are you guys here for somebody else?
Yes.
He's okay. It'll be a while, I think. I don't think he's available. Mr. Jennings is done.
It's
Another JO, case number 683048, co-defendant B, Darnell Old. Retained counsel is present. This is a re-indictment going back to the docket of Judge Quinn.
Dan DeRosa, Channel 19. As you saw, Jalen Jennings, that was very brief. That's what we expected. This is the first time he's actually facing the indictment, the multiple counts, 18 felony counts. 9 of those, indicted on 9 counts of attempted murder, 18 counts of felony assault, 2 counts of having a weapon under disability. That means having a weapon while a felon. If you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to have a gun in this country. Then 1 count of grand theft. That is back to the car that was stolen, and 1 count of receiving stolen property. Now, you heard that they talked about a co-defendant in that case. That is for the getaway driver, Kevin Delval Salomon. He is 24 years old. The judge, you heard her say that he is not available. I want to listen in because they could move some things around.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Attorney Allison Dimmer on behalf of Rich Payne. He's received a copy of this indictment. Waives any defects in time or manner of service.
And no, it does not look like
I would like to briefly be heard on the issue.
does not look like Delval Salomon will be making his appearance right at this time. So I'm going to stick with this for just a minute. But it did sound like the judge say there could be quite a delay, that he was not ready. He was not perhaps next in line. Again, this is the mass arraignment, mass indictment situation that happens every morning at the Cuyahoga County Court of Common Pleas. As you saw with Jalen Jennings, it's very quick. Your attorney generally pleads not guilty, which happened in this case. The judge did keep Jennings' bond at $9 million. The representing attorney for Jennings asked for a reasonable bond. The judge deciding to keep it at what it was set at previously at $9 million. That is, again, an incredibly high bond. In my career, I'm not sure I've even seen a bond at $9 million. That's even with the Ariel Castro case, with the missing Cleveland girls, as well as the Anthony Sowell case. I believe his bond was $6 million, and he was a mass murderer in Cleveland's background. Again, we also thought that we might get a chance to see Darshawn Burks. She is the woman accused of terrorizing and trying to do as much damage to the Enterprise rent-a-car out at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport as a former employee fired for taking vehicles from the rental-car agency without permission, effectively stealing cars. At one point, with one of those vehicles, was even in a high-speed chase with Parma police without being caught, and then going back after being fired and inflicting an immense amount of damage. She is facing 11 counts on the indictment, including 2 counts of aggravated burglary, 1 count of attempted aggravated arson. That's a second-degree felony. 1 count of attempted aggravated arson. 1 count of burglary. 2 counts of felony assault. 1 count of vandalism. 1 count of grand theft. 1 count of aggravated menacing, and 1 for resisting arrest. We're going to show you as we keep our eye on court here. I'm going to do that as you watch the story behind the accused, Darshawn Burks, and just exactly the immense amount of damage she inflicted on her former employee, the Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Take a look.
Chaos.
Oh my God. All this?
All that over there, the break room, in the garage, cars in the back.
Oh, I ain't never seen nothing like this.
The moment Cleveland police officers were called to Enterprise Rent-A-Car at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport earlier this month.
There is a irate female who was fired from over there, ramming into the building and ramming into other cars, the cars she stole from the parking lot.
When officers got to the scene, they say the female suspect was being held down by 2 employees, but trying to break free. When officers tried to handcuff her, she resisted until a canine officer and his dog arrived.
It's a dog. It's a dog. Come on.
Do not resist. I was the dog. You don't bite it.
There we go.
She's good. Anybody that goes to Barney 14 and the cars at Maplewood, I know you're all on Madison.
And that's when she complied and was arrested. Her name is Darshawn Burks, and investigators say the 26-year-old woman was terminated from Enterprise last month for taking a rental car home without permission. Investigators say she returned and stole a car and was involved in a high-speed chase with Parma police last month, but has been on the run ever since. Workers told police they feared for their lives as Burks went on a rampage that Sunday afternoon.
She drove through there. See that Durango? She crashed that into that building. She switched cars. She crashed another car into that building. She switched cars. I don't remember it.
And she just kept the chain of events, but she just kept switching cars.
I don't remember the sequence, but she kept switching cars.
Is this what she was driving?
She drove. It's like
Hit this one into the building.
yeah, it's like 20 cars. I think that's all done. We still collecting.
And as several officers surveyed the destruction,
and this is a Kansas City plate. These vehicles are on top of each other.
Okay. We got to figure out how to get this.
Yeah, I don't want to touch anything.
Okay, so we're going to need a tow coming in here too then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that? Is that one damaged too?
Looks like
Jesus Christ, I got you, champ. Push y'all.
fire investigators gathered evidence, finding a box of matches near the gasoline pumps.
I witnessed this after one of my employees, Craig, came in there and told me. He said she was at the gas pump first, trying to strike a match and blow everything up.
Police say Burks told them she intended to spray gasoline into the vehicle and let it burn, and that she came to do exactly what she did. Burks was booked into jail. Burks has been charged on 11 counts, including grand theft, arson, felonious assault, burglary, vandalism, resisting arrest, and other charges. She'll face a judge here at the Justice Center for arraignment Monday morning. We'll definitely keep eyes and ears on this one. Reporting in downtown Cleveland, Sia New Yorker, 19 News.
Just incredible to see the amount of damage one person was able to inflict before she was stopped by the employees there. That image of the one car stacked on top of the other as she rammed into the back of it, it was just incredible. We're looking live in court here. Again, we're dealing with a mass arraignment type situation. There could be anywhere from 20 to 30 to 40 of these in any given morning. We've already seen accused West 6 shooter Jalen Jennings officially indicted on his 18 counts, including nine counts of attempted murder for the people he shot or is accused of shooting on West 6th. Remember, all 9 victims survived. That was the miraculous part. We've already seen him in court. He was in court for all of 2 minutes, his attorney pleading not guilty, the judge keeping the bail at $9 million. It could be any number of minutes, maybe even an hour or so before we see Darshawn Burks or the alleged getaway driver in the West 6th shooting, Kevin Del Val Salomon. He was allegedly going to be arraigned today as well. The judge said he was not ready. So we're going to leave this on the court proceedings, which are open to the public. We're not showing you anything that shouldn't be seen. You could walk yourself down into this courtroom just as easy as we have our cameras in the courtroom and watch these arraignments that go on a daily basis. But again, they can be fairly mundane, and it could be some time before we see either Darshawn Burks from the rent-a-car case or Kevin Del Val Salmon from the West 6 shooting.
I'm going to reset this bond. It'll be $10,000. Cash surety property 10%. No contact with the victim. Court supervised release, GPS home detention. A sample of your DNA will be taken. I am going to assign Oscar Rodriguez to represent you. You're going to be on the docket of Judge Jennifer O'Donnell. Your next trial date is August 2nd at 9 a.m.
Are they going to give me papers about this?
Y yo les quería informar otra cosa de mi dirección cuando a mí me pide la dirección de trabajo oferta y tengo un dirección correcta para
The address in the system currently is not correct. I just been giving you my correct address.
Okay. Make sure you give it to your attorney and then they'll update it in the system.
Can I just be very honest?
We have retained counsel case 682351, Elijah Summers Golden.
Good morning, Your Honor. Edward Title on behalf of Mr. Summers Golden. This time, we plead not guilty to the waive reading of the indictment. We acknowledge receipt of the indictment more than 24 hours in advance of today's hearing, and we ask that the court continue the original bond.
$5,000 cash surety property, that's the original bond, will be continued with the docket of Judge Taya.
Dan DeRose with 19 News here again, folks. This arraignment, again, this is a mass arraignment type situation, mass indictment. There could be any number of cases that could pop up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this stream. Our cameras are not going to leave the courtroom. Just catching names as they get called out. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this stream. This is pretty mindless stuff we're watching here. But of course, we have our cameras in the courtroom. Our reporter is in the courtroom. We will have the very latest on all of the two high-profile cases that had some movement today. The mass shooting on West 6th. And then that enterprise rent-a-car situation from earlier in July, if she makes her arraignment. We will have all the very latest, of course, on our noon news, and then when we start our 3.5 hours of news at 3 o'clock. Until then, I'm Dan DeRose with 19 News Now. Have a good afternoon.
From Cleveland's most accurate weather team,